Greetings everyone, I hope you're all okay. So welcome to my second video of reading poetry other than my own. Last time when I read some of Ogden Nash's work, I mentioned that I would get round to some other poets who've inspired me. So for some of those I have plans which will have to wait for a bit, so today I'm going to give you a taste of Roald Dahl, specifically the first 3 poems from his book Dirty Beasts. So there are lots of things I love about Dahl, one of which is that he was deliciously dark and irreverent, but at the same time able to see effectively through the eyes of children. So he created many disadvantaged child protagonists, such as Sophie, James, and Matilda, and even while relishing all the nasty things that were happening in their stories, he managed to endear the protagonists to the reader simply through their innocence and sense of wonder. Then, of course, there's his talent with language. He was very creative, especially with character names such as Bruce Bogtrotter, Mrs. Clonkers, Veruca Salt. And if he found there wasn't an existing word that completely met his needs, he just made a new one up, like Frobscottle or Oompa Loompa. I think a really good example of summing all this up is when the enormous crocodile is describing to the roly-poly bird what he wants for lunch. It's luscious, it's super, it's muscious, it's duper, it's better than rotten old fish. You mash it and munch it, you chew it and crunch it, it's lovely to hear it go squish. And he is, of course, talking about eating a child, but the roly-poly bird simply assumes it's berries. So with all that in mind, let us delve into the realm of the dirty beasts, beginning with the pig. In England once there lived a big and wonderfully clever pig. To everybody it was plain that Piggy had a massive brain. He worked out sums inside his head. There was no book he hadn't read. He knew what made an airplane fly. He knew how engines worked and why. He knew all this, but in the end one question drove him around the bend. He simply couldn't puzzle out what life was really all about. What was the reason for his birth? Why was he placed upon this earth? His giant brain went round and round. Alas, no answer could be found. Till suddenly, one wondrous night, all in a flash he saw the light. He jumped up like a ballet dancer and yelled, "By gum, I've got the answer! They want my bacon slice by slice to sell at a tremendous price. They want my tender, juicy chops to put in all the butcher's shops. They want my pork to make a roast, and that's the part'll cost the most. They want my sausages in strings. They even want my chitterlings. The butcher's shop, the carving knife, that is the reason for my life." Such thoughts as these are not designed to give a pig great peace of mind. Next morning in comes Farmer Bland, a pail of pig swill in his hand, and Piggy, with a mighty roar, bashes the farmer to the floor. Now comes the rather grisly bit, so let's not make too much of it, except that you must understand that Piggy did eat Farmer Bland. He ate him up from head to toe, chewing the pieces nice and slow. It took an hour to reach the feet, because there was so much to eat. And when he'd finished, Pig, of course, felt absolutely no remorse. Slowly he scratched his brainy head, and, with a little smile, he said, "I had a fairly powerful hunch that he might have me for his lunch. And so, because I feared the worst, I thought I'd better eat him first." Next, the crocodile. No animal is half so vile as Crocky Walk the crocodile. On Saturdays he likes to crunch 6 juicy children for his lunch, and he especially enjoys just 3 of each, 3 girls, 3 boys. He smears the boys to make them hot with mustard from the mustard pot. But mustard doesn't go with girls, it tastes all wrong with plaits and curls. With them what goes extremely well is butterscotch and caramel. It's such a super marvellous treat when boys are hot and girls are sweet. At least that's Crocky's point of view. He ought to know, he's had a few. That's all for now, it's time for bed. Lie down and rest your sleepy head. Shh, listen, what is that I hear? Galumphing softly up the stair. Go lock the door and fetch my gun. Go on, child, hurry, quickly, run! No, stop, stand back, he's coming in! Oh, look, that greasy greenish skin, the shining teeth, the greedy smile. It's Crocky Walk the crocodile! And finally, the lion. The lion just adores to eat a lot of red and tender meat. And if you ask the lion what is much the tenderest of the lot, he will not say a roast of lamb, or curried beef, or devilled ham, or crispy pork, or corned beef hash, or sausages, or mutton mash. Then could it be a big plump hen? He answers no. What is it then? "Oh, Lion dear, could I not make you happy with a lovely steak? Could I entice you from your lair with rabbit pie or roasted hare?" The Lion smiled and shook his head. He came in very close and said, "The meat I am about to chew is neither steak nor chops, it's you!" Well, thank you very much for joining me today. My next video of reading poetry will probably be the work of Lewis Carroll.